live stream music revival online. This is Christopher Dyken coming to you from my home on Wednesday, the 12th of April. This is another in our live online sessions, and this is Piano Hour. I have a very generous and warm, open-hearted program for you this evening, starting off with my piano. Our piano was tuned this afternoon. Thanks to James Webster of Midlands Piano Services for spending the afternoon here, giving my piano a good tune. It's amazing how the addition of a dehumidifier in the room has made a great difference. James advised me some years ago many years to invest in this, and after many years of pleading for me to do this, I did. And a dehumidifier keeps the humidity in the room rather constant, especially during summer when the excess moisture. I'm emptying out the tank of about 5 liters at least every 24 hours. Certainly it's getting a little bit less now as the humidity started to drop, but it's made an enormous difference, and the piano is much more stable, not needing to be tuned that often. So I actually don't see James as often as I used to, which is rather unfortunate. It's always lovely to chat to you, James, when you join us and when you join me on these afternoon sessions to tune my piano, and of course it's sounding lovely. So the good news and the great news, and this is really just to thank our supporters, but 2 supporters who I won't name tonight. I'm always cautious about naming our sponsors and supporters unless I have gained express permission for that. But 2 supporters, one who is in Pretoria and one who I know is in Franschhoek, have been very generous with their support after my live streams last week and my mailing list going out, asking for support for our annual Vimeo fee, and it certainly is covered at this point. So the good news, we will carry on. We have access to our Vimeo for the next year, which means that I can carry on live streaming across Facebook as I am tonight, as well as on YouTube and my website, and the videos have a very reliable link. But most importantly, also that the live stream software, it is literally called Live Stream Studio, the software that is running on a very high-end computer, allows us to keep streaming and keep this program running smoothly. Takes me back, I was just chatting to Leon, who arrived here this evening. We were thinking if I had to go back to using the free software like OBS. When we started this, Barry and I spent weeks trying to get the cameras to sync and the sound to sync with the cameras, and this wouldn't work and that wouldn't talk to each other. And Livestream Studio has just made all of that work particularly smoothly. So it's been a great success. So this evening is going to be a light-hearted program. There's a lot of generous feelings, the generosity of the supporters who have been very generous, hugely generous in supporting me, particularly this week and this month, in enabling this platform to continue as it is, as well as all of those who've continued to support me throughout the year. It just seems there's so much love and so much joy going around at the moment that a light-hearted and very optimistic program, even if we are not experiencing all that optimism ourselves, is needed by everyone. So I am going to play for you the beautiful Adagio cantabile from Beethoven's Sonata Pathétique to start off. Very rich, beautiful piece of music. 2 Gershwin song transcriptions, The Man I Love and I Got Rhythm. These are 2 of my favorites, very generous and very lovely pieces. And then a really great deal of lightness and a favorite of many from John W. Bratton and his very celebrated song, The Teddy Bear's Picnic. This is a very simple arrangement, but very effective arrangement that I've played for years, and it just brings that wonderful lightness and joy to the program. start to this evening's light-hearted, generous, open-hearted program, Beethoven's Adagio cantabile, slow and singing Adagio cantabile, meaning that from the Sonata Pathétique or Pathos, the Sonata of Pathos, followed by George Gershwin's The Man I Love and I Got Rhythm, and then the Teddy Bear's Picnic. And someone, of course, who is arriving just in time for a little bit of the Teddy Bear's Picnic of their own is Little Lucy. How's Little Luce? Hello, Little Lucy. Little Luce is all excited. Come and say hello to everyone. Hello, Luce. How's everything today? Oh, everything's just fine. Yes, you've had a very jolly day. Everything's just fine. You've been having a nice snooze and you, yes, everything, you're feeling very good. It hasn't been too warm. It hasn't been too cold. And yes, everything is just good. And I hear pitter-patter of another little friend. Let's see who's here. And now I was told by someone that I exhibit favoritism far too much, that little Wendy Pop doesn't get half as much as attention as Little Lucy. So here is Little Wendy Pop. Little Wendy Pop. Wendy Pop's going to come on, say hello. Who was it that said that, Wendy Pop? Oh yes, it's Greg. You must say hello to your friend Greg, because Greg's your biggest fan. Little Wendy Pop is there. Wendy Pop is wanting to jump around. Of course, Lucy is dying to come back. Wendy Pop. Okay, Wendy Pop. Okay, there you go. You've had your airtime. Enough for that. Right, girls are going to go off and play in the baskets. Well, there we go. Lucy and Wendy Pop with sufficient airtime this evening, I hope. I'm going to go on with two pieces, very beautiful Bach, the Aria from the Goldberg variation. This is a beautiful piece, and I am playing this in memory of my very dear friend Annika Lamont, Annika van Heerden. Annika passed away on Monday morning, and my thoughts are with her husband Arnold and her family. Annika and I played together for many years as the Krausen piano duo. We had both studied with Lamar Krausen, and as an acknowledgement to his influence and his, not at the same time, we didn't study together many years apart, but we did meet, and an acknowledgement to his influence and his understanding of what he taught us separately in our playing. We came together and played much of the piano duet, not two piano repertoire, but mostly piano duet repertoire music, Mozart, Schubert. And it was very sad news to receive that Annika had passed away on Monday morning. We spent many hours touring around South Africa, and particularly a very adventurous trip in the Eastern Transvaal, a part of the world that I never knew. And we had planned all sorts of concerts. I thought that going from places like Dullstroom to Tzaneen to White River to Pretoria was like going around KZN from Nottingham Road to Greytown and Pietermaritzburg. Turned out these places, much to my surprise, were 5 or 6 hours away from each other, and we played 3 or 4 concerts a day sometimes. It was hair-raising. We'd finish one concert, jump in the car, and arrive just in time for the next, including a broken piano at one of the venues. So it was always great fun, and Annika will be missed by many who heard her play and who enjoyed her infectious enthusiasm. But one piece of music that I definitely associate with Annika is the Goldberg Variations, a piece of music she played magnificently in its entirety. So I will play for her in a moment of remembrance the Aria from the Goldberg Variations for Annika. And then the very exciting and very beautiful and very robust, generous Polonaise, the military Polonaise for Terry Lynn in Pretoria. Special piece for you, Terry Lynn, this evening. This is a Polonaise, opus 40 in A major. robust rhythms there, that Polonaise, that drive, and that tight, very tight military rhythmic lilt there in the Polonaise in A flat, A major, at least opus 40 by Frédéric Chopin, and the Goldberg variations by Aria by J.S. Bach. Keeping this theme of lightness and just general ambience and a kind of easygoing atmosphere with this evening's program, I'm going to go on with pieces by Dizzy Confrey. Gosh, I'm getting really muddled now. Confrey's Dizzy Fingers, piece of music that really just goes around and around in circles. The circular patterns of the hands have this very fast circular nature, and there's very unusual patterns which are very beguiling and dizzy in their own way. Scott Joplin's Elite Syncopations, one of his other ragtimes, not the Entertainer or the Sting or Maple Leaf Draft, but another piece called Elite Syncopations. And then I end off with this selection of 3 pieces by a little Spanish number band, Enrique Granados, the Playera or Andaluza, the Spanish dance number 5. So it's a very evocative and very unique piece of music, just adding in a little moment of some sultry element into the program of lightness. Such incredibly evocative music there. Enrique Granados and his dance, Spanish dance number 5, Playera or Andaluza. Leon, I meant to ask you earlier, is there something wrong with that camera? You were fiddling with the phone camera.
It's all fine now.
Is it all fine? Okay. I suddenly remembered in the middle of that. I saw Leon was fiddling. There's one of these cameras which you're watching. One of the camera angles is actually an iPhone. It's an iPhone with a special little app which gives amazing coverage, and it's very portable and it can move around quite easily, amazingly enough. The last 3 pieces I'm going to play in this evening's program are going to be rather soothing. I think we all need music that is soothing, a balm for difficult times, and general beautiful sounds. And seeing as the piano has just been tuned, it is sounding quite magnificent. Always sounds great. I'm always very pleased, very proud and very happy with the sound that the live streams, that the sound of the production that we're producing is actually sounding great. It always sounds great. The piano always sounds wonderful, but particularly tonight, I hope it's sounding extra special. I'm going to play for you 2 pieces by the contemporary Italian composer Ludovico Einaudi. These are great favorites. The first of which, Nuvole Bianche or White Clouds. A very simple idea of these repeated chords, this chord pattern which is very sparse, very in its bare bones, the way it's produced in the beginning, but then slowly these layers of billowing notes and billowing rhythms are added into a wonderful, enriching texture. And then straight after that piece, also by him, Una Mattina or One Morning, very evocative, very delicate, uplifting little piece of music. And I'm going to end off this evening's program with an improvisation. I have really no idea again what I'm going to play. I thought if I get lost, I might throw a popular tune in there somewhere, but let's just see what happens after this Einaudi 2 play. piano hour on Wednesday, the 12th of April. Just the 12th of April. That was just an improvisation. It's got some tender moments in there. It's improvisation to end off this evening session. Before that, I played two pieces by the contemporary Italian classical composer, apparently the most popular and the most successful classical composer in the world today, Ludovico Einaudi. And that was his piece, two of his pieces, Nuvole, Bianche and Una Mattina. Brings us to an end in this evening session. Thank you very much for those of you who have joined me. Thank you again for those of you who are supporting me, and our two special donors who have been very generous this last week. Of course, if you are able to support me ongoing, and you are watching these programs regularly, and you've been thinking about there might be an opportunity for you to donate something, and you haven't had the opportunity, then now is certainly the time, with the costs of the platform and the various costs of keeping the stream going. It is just 8 o'clock. I've heard the air conditioning ping. That means the load shedding is over. Thank goodness we have inverters and solar power and batteries to keep the house and the studio running during these times. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday night when I have another beautiful program of some classical music. I hear little Patter again. Let's just have one little moment with little Lucy. Come on, little Lucy. Yes, they taught you such good manners to just make entrances at the right time. Is that at Switzerland Finishing School? Yes, Switzerland Finishing School taught you many, many positive things. Who's got a little fluffy paw? It's little Lucy, of course it is. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed this selection of light-hearted, some very gentle and tender sounds in the music this evening, and look forward to seeing you next Saturday.